This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Welcome to Usapang Bayan. Ako po si George Chua, kasamang aking co-host na si Rach Marquez. Pag-uusapan po natin ang iba't ibang issue na kinahaharap ng mga ating tao sa gobyerno at tatalakayin din po natin ang iba pang pangyayari sa ating bansa.
Ikinagagalak po naming makapanayam para sa ating Boto ni Juan series, ang representative ng Lone District ng Pasig at isa po sa mga lumalahok sa pagkasenador sa darating na eleksyon, Congressman Roman Romulo.
Welcome to our show po.
Yes, magandang araw George, Rach, magandang araw sa inyo at sa lahat ng nanonood at nakikinig, magandang araw po sa ating lahat.
Siguro ho pwede natin umpisahan na pangatlong term nyo nang ho ito sa Kongreso ngayon. Saan ho ba nanggaling si Roman Romulo bago siya naging congressman?
Well, George, Rach, bago ako pumasok sa public service, nag-practice muna ako ng abogasiya. I practiced law for 9 years with a law firm here in Makati. And then I decided, because my family, in fact, was in public service before me, so kahit paano nakagisnan ko rin naman ng public service, so I decided also to also offer myself.
Paano ho ba naitanim sa isip niyo yung maging congressman, no? From being a lawyer to become a congressman? How did that transition happen?
Well, first of all, as I mentioned earlier, I have my family has been in public service for a long time. Carlos P. Romulo, when I was young, was in public service. He was Secretary of Foreign Affairs then. So growing up, even my classmates, my teachers would ask me about him. When I was in high school, college, it was my father who became a senator at that time. So kahit pa paano, yung public service was always just something in the back of my mind. When I was practicing law, one time, alam mo, ang law kasi, it's really interpretation of various laws. And then there was a time that I was talking to one of my partners in the firm, and na-mention ko sa kanya na minsan ang haba ng trabaho namin, ang dami namin ginagawa, dahil talagang ang hirap minsan ma-interpret kung ano ibig sabihin ng batas. So sabi ko nga sa kanya, siguro maganda na pumasok rin ako sa Kongreso dahil baka mas magaling ako sumulat ng batas kaysa sa mga nababasa natin ngayon.
Sa mga batas na isinulat nyo or you were part of, alin ho ba doon ang pinakamasasabi nyong obra maestra nyo na yung pwedeng ipagmalaki yung batas na nagawa?
Well, siguro marami po dyan talaga ang nakakonect doon sa aking vision, which is really to create what I call that strong middle class. Kasi marami sa bansa natin, either mayaman, pero mas marami talaga medyo mahirap. Para magprogreso talaga yung ating bansa, ang importante dito ay mas marami tayong maihaon ng mga mahihirap na maging middle class. Meaning, they can stand on their own 2 feet at mabubuhay nila sarili nila, pati pamilya nila. That's why medyo may set of laws na proud ako. First of all dito, yung mga laws ko on education. Yung Scholar ng Bayan Law, yung Unifast Act, yung Open Distance Learning Act for College Education, and yung Ladderized Education Law. Pagdating naman po dun sa parte ng job creation, principal author rin ako nung Data Privacy Act. which was actually a law requested by BPOs in order for them to be able to expand in the Philippines. And that nagawa natin nung last Congress pa yung Data Privacy Act.
This is already your third term po as
Yes.
congressman. So what do you think are the disadvantages and advantages of being in politics?
Well, yung disadvantage is really yung time mo is not really your own. Ang totoo niyan, kahit kapaskuhan, alam natin na pwedeng merong mga pangangailangan na kailangan na tugunan. Yung vacation, napakahirap makuha talaga. Pag seryoso kang nasa public service, mahirap talaga yung sa oras. Like in my case, in fact, I got married late. Yung maganda, yung sa akin naman, yung advantage niya is that actually you can craft policy. Meron talagang mabibigay, mako-contribute mo na makikita mo kahit papano ay it will bear fruit during your term, makikita mo yun. And of course, lahat naman tayo who doesn't want to be able to do something, di ba?
Can you tell us a little bit about your party affiliations and who are the people that you're planning to be running with?
Yes. Actually, George, I belong to the Liberal Party, but for this election, I've decided to support Senator Grace Poe. And ang rason po niyan, simple lamang. In fact, up to, I think, before I heard her speak, I was not really supporting her. But nag-attend ako nung kanyang announcement sa UP Bahay ng Alumni. And doon, linatag niya yung 20-point agenda niya. And marami dito sa 20-point agenda niya, either I had passed a bill into law or I have a pending bill on that matter. Example, nagbigay talaga siya ng emphasis sa education. And yun, I really believe na yun yung sikreto para masigurado natin ang progreso ng mas maraming Pilipino. I'm one of the authors of the lowering of the income tax rate for lower and middle income earners. Ang tingin ko kasi sa ngayon ay karamihan naman talaga nung kinikita ng bawat mamamayan, pag nagtatrabaho ka, ay nakakain talaga ng buwis. So, isa ako doon sa nag-file ng bill last year pa, asking that we lower the income tax rates, especially for lower and middle income earners. Ang sabi sa akin in one committee meeting, sabi sa akin ng Department of Finance and ng BIR, if we continue to push for these bills, the national government will lose about 29 billion pesos. Granted, that is true, ano? Kasi automatic naman talaga yan. Mawawalan ka, pag binawasan mo yung income taxation mo, kukunti talaga yung collection mo. Pero as I pointed out during that committee meeting, maaring bumaba ang income tax collection ng national government, pero dapat tingnan nila yung buong storya. Sa isang banda, pagka binabaan natin ang income tax rate, aangat yung take-home pay ng bawat mamamayan na nagtatrabaho. Pag na-increase yun, ibig sabihin mag-i-increase naman purchasing power niya.
Correct.
Pag nag-increase yan, saan niya gagastusin yan? Karamihan naman dito sa ating bansa ay subject naman to EVAT, sa goods and services. So sabi ko nga, bumaba man ng income tax collection dahil malaki ang purchasing power ng bawat Pilipino may trabaho, aangat naman yung EVAT collection ng gobyerno. Pangalawa, the moment mag-increase yung EVAT, demand, mag-increase ang demand the moment you keep on buying, di ba po? Pag nag-increase yan, ibig sabihin, in this case, supply must follow. Kung ikaw manufacturer, you produce 10 cellphones. Ngayon, may pera na ang tao para bumili. Ngayon, 12 na ang binibili nila. So, kailangan mag-produce ka ng extra 2. Ibig sabihin, you must hire people pa. So, even employment opportunities, may pagkakataon na dadami pa ang employment opportunity.
Talking about the economic aspects about taxation in particular,
Yes.
what can you say about the way that the government is very aggressive in terms of maintaining its tax take, in spite of the fact that where the taxes go to is sometimes being channeled to what might be considered as constitutionally unsound, no? And at the same time, the major infrastructure projects that we've been facing, particularly in the cases of power generation, utilities, and even road networks, no? That's all public-private partnership. So in effect, the government has sold those rights to private sector companies, no? And we've ended up paying toll fees, higher power rates. So I mean, what benefit do we get? We pay the tax, and at the same time, we still end up paying for using the roads, paying for higher costs of power. I mean, how do you rationalize something like that coming from the lawmaking side?
Exactly, George. I agree with what you're saying. That is why, really last year pa, I was pushing for this income tax rate reduction. Ang tingin ko talaga, we should empower our citizens to be the ones to decide on how they will use the money that they've earned through hard work. Kung lahat na lang ay kukunin ng gobyerno o malaking porsyento ay makukuha ng gobyerno, ang mamamayan, at the end of the day, will be reliant on government, even for health needs nila. And ayaw naman natin ng welfare state. What we want is really to build a strong middle class. And the best way to do this is to empower our citizens. Pag ikaw'y nagtatrabaho, dapat naman ay ikaw ang mas malaking karapatan kung paano mo gastusin yung kinikita mo. The less government we have, the better it is. Second, why do we, wala akong problema, no? Of course, we should go strong against yung mga tax evaders, di ba? But then, hindi naman tayo to the point that we will suffocate a business and constrain them na hindi naman sila makapag-expand. Because if business does not expand, then work does not expand. Employment opportunities will not expand. And ang kawawa doon sa kauli-ulian, yung pangkaraniwan tao. So kailangan naman bigyan natin ng pagkakataon ng konting flexibility. Hindi na bali sana kung napakaganda ng pagkasulat ng ating mga batas sa buwis. Kung ang tax laws natin perfect, it is easy to follow. Pero hindi ganun eh. Sa dami ng rev-reg natin, sa dami ng mga regulations, on all matters, minsan napakahirap lang just to be able to know kung ano na ba ang current na rev-reg ngayon. Ano ba ang dapat mong gawin? Para sundan pa lamang yun, napakahirap na ngayon. Kung madali sana yun, walang problema, ang hirap rin.
Ang tama ho kayo dyan, dahil kasi ang nangyayari, nagkakaroon ng discretion ang tagapatupad ng batas na kung sino ang i-apply to, hindi i-apply to, nagiging double standards po.
Yes. And that is what we want to avoid. Kasi ang gusto lang natin, ang kahit sinong mamamayan, ang tingin niya sa lipunan natin, ay basta magtrabaho siya, basta he puts in his hard work, ay pwede siyang mag-succeed. Pwedeng hindi lang mag-succeed, pero pwede pang mag-grow niya kung business niya or maging entrepreneur siya kung siya ay pumapasok sa isang opisina. At ang tingin niya, patas ang labanan. Yung rules will be applied equally to everyone. Pero kung ang nangyayari sa ating batas or rules and regulations ay pwedeng selective, napakahirap yon para sa isang, kahit na sinong mamamayan. Kasi at the end of the day, hindi pala yung kaalaman mo at compliance mo ang importante, kundi sino ang kilala mo.
Congressman, what prompted you to seek a higher office? Kasi you mentioned earlier, it takes too much of your time. Don't you think it's time for you to focus on building a family na, considering third term mo na to?
Yes. Well, I think I'm still young enough and meron pa rin tayong mga ideas na gustong isulong. Katulad itong yung vision na sinasabi ko na gumawa tayo ng strong middle class. Tingin ko sa education, kahit papano, yung mga batas na nagawa natin. Example po, yung Scholar ng Bayan Law. Under the Scholar ng Bayan Law, kung top 10 student ka ng public high school, now automatic scholar ka na ng national government if you enroll in a state university or college within your region. Plus, exempted ka from entrance examinations. It's automatic admission. Talagang affirmative action ang ginawa natin para masigurado na mas marami na mga estudyante, lalo na yung galing sa mga mahihirap na pamilya, ang makatungtong at makapagtapos ng kolehiyo. The Unifast Law. Kasi yung Scholar ng Bayan, limited. Top 10 lang at public high schools. And you have to enroll in a state university or college. The Unifast is more expansive. Yun po, basta Pilipino ka, naka-enroll ka sa kolehiyo, whether public o private college, at mapakita mo lang na hindi mo na kaya o ng pamilya mo tustusan ang gastusin sa kolehiyo, you can be a recipient or a beneficiary of the grants in aid under the Unifast law. At alam niyo ho kung ano yung benefits doon. First, financial assistance para sagutin yung tuition fee and all other fees. Second, financial assistance para sa pambili mo ng libro, uniforme, pambayad ng dorm or apartment. Pangatlo, may stipend or allowance. This is the first time that we have a law na ang tinitingnan o batayan niya, hindi grades. Ang batayan dito, yung kahirapan, ng kapasidad ng pamilya o ng mag-aaral. Gusto natin mas maraming mahirap nating kababayan makapasok ng kolehiyo, makapagtapos ng kolehiyo. In fact, ito yung unang step towards free college education.
Ano ho yung tawag nyo dun sa law na yan? Unifast?
Unifast.
Bakit ho ang naging ganun ho ang pangalan?
Oh, it's an acronym po eh. Unifast is an acronym for Unified Financial Assistance to Students
Okay.
in College Education. Hindi sexy yung pangalan talaga eh.
But it makes sense if that, I mean, as long as you
Yes.
understand the acronym.
Yes.
Going back quickly to the your supporting role for the presidential candidate, which is Senator Grace Poe, no? Now that she has been, is it officially called disqualified by the COMELEC, or how would you know, what is her status now? And
Yeah.
as a lawyer, no, as a
Yes.
practicing lawyer, what can you say about her current situation?
Yes. Sa ngayon po, sa COMELEC cases, unang-una nagkaroon na ng unang case na po yan dun sa Senate Electoral Tribunal. Dun yung unang final na kaso sa kanya at doon nakita natin nanalo siya. Sinabi na siya ay isang natural-born citizen. Pangalawang set of cases na final sa kanya ay dito naman sa COMELEC para ikansela yung kanyang Certificate of Candidacy. Dito, tama kayo George, ano? Ang nangyari dito ay pinabura naman ng COMELEC yung mga petitioners. Ang sabi ng COMELEC dito ay hindi siya natural born at pangalawa, hindi raw sapat yung kanyang residency. Kaya effectively sa COMELEC, na-disqualify siya. Pero para maliwanag, hindi pa ho tapos yun. Hindi ibig sabihin na na-disqualify siya ng COMELEC ay disqualified na po si Senator Grace Poe. Kasi meron pa ho yan, aabot pa lahat ng kaso hanggang sa Supreme Court. At ang Supreme Court, under our Constitution, ang huli na magsasabi talaga ng karapatan at yung mga legal rights ng bawat isa sa atin. So yun, wala pa yung kasong itong sa Supreme Court at doon natin malalaman. At pagdating naman sa Supreme Court, sa isang banda, George, being a lawyer, confident naman kami na doon ay mananaig talaga yung katotohanan at yung konstitusyon at yung mga batas natin. Bakit? Kasi ang unang sinasabi sa kanya, hindi siya natural-born Filipino. Pero pinanganak po siya noong 1968. Hindi disputed na nahanap siya sa Haro, Iloilo. Kung pinanganak ang 1968 sa ilalim ng ating mga konstitusyon, ang mag-a-apply sa kanya ay yung 1935 Constitution. Pag tinignan niyo po yung 1935 Constitution, sino ang mga citizens ng ating bansa? Tungkol sa founding, walang express provision. Pero kung basahin mo yung deliberations, yung mga nagsulat ng 1935 Constitution, maliwanag po doon. Sinabi nung usapin sa citizenship provision, sinabi ng isang delegado, kung ikaw ay pinanganak na hindi kilala ang nanay o tatay mo, ikaw ay mamamayan ng bansa kung saan ka pinanganak o nahanap. Si Senator Grace po nahanap sa Haro, Iloilo. Noong panahon po na yun, noong 60s, wala pa namang airport na maganda nun. Siguro naman kahit foreigner ka, hindi ka pupunta all the way to Haro, Iloilo. So definitely po, kung titingnan natin, kahit nga sa Amerika, di ba, laging sinasite ng mga presidente doon, the framers of the Constitution. So sa atin rin po, mahalaga yung usapin ng ating mga framers of the Constitution, yung ating CONCON delegates. Ang sabi nila, o sige, sabihin na natin citizen siya, pero hindi siya natural born. Pero hindi ba po sa ating bansa, dalawa lang ang classification ng isang Pilipino. Either natural born ka, or naturalized ka. Ang diferensya lang ng dalawa, simple. Sa ilalim po ng ating mga batas at polisiya, ang naturalized citizen, yun yung nabigyan ng Kongreso ng isang batas na nagsasabi, Pilipino ka na. Or, merong korte sa Pilipinas na nagsabing, diniklara kang Pilipino. So, other than that, natural born ka. Ibig sabihin, wala kang ginawa, naging Pilipino ka. Sa kaso po ni Senator Grace po, maliwanag, walang batas para gawin siyang Pilipino. Walang judicial decree. At pinanganak pa lang siya, binigyan nga siya ng passport ng Philippine government. Talagang tinuring siyang Pilipino. So, ibig sabihin, natural-born citizen siya.
Roman, at this point, we have to have a break.
Yes.
Sa aming pong pagbabalik, itutuloy po natin ang napakagandang talakayan tungkol dito sa bagay na ito at marami pang ibang bagay. Kasama pa rin natin si Representative Roman Romulo. Please stay tuned.